everyone and welcome to a new video. Finally, today we're gonna have a look at the new Honor Magic 7 Pro. And I know you've probably already seen a million of reviews of this phone, so I want to make this a tiny bit different and I want to tell you about my impressions of this phone. It's gonna be less about the specs you're gonna see on this phone, it's more about the impression and about, well, basically what this makes you feel and what it gives you, how it makes your life easier. What are the features which I found nice? What are the features which I used? And yeah, without further ado, let's get straight into it. So when I first opened the box, by the way, thanks to Honor Germany for sending me this test phone. I am not keeping this, I'm sending it back. The first thing I noticed was its weight. It was slightly bit heavier, and because of the cameras which are here, it's kind of like falling onto this side, which is not a bad thing. It was just the first impression when I picked up the phone. So I picked it up and it was, you know, pulling my hand down. It didn't make my hand hurt, it was just the first impression. And right, the second thing I noticed was the beautiful design. Guys, this is probably the prettiest phone I've ever seen, like, in my humble opinion. I really like this design, especially because now with all the cameras you need a wide camera, you need a main camera, you need telephoto, you need selfie, so it's a lot. And of course companies are struggling with the design and how to put it all together. And when I see a nice circle in the middle of a device, my heart just tells me I'm just feeling so good about this design because it genuinely, it looks good. It's a circle on a rectangle, it cannot look bad. Look at it. So something about the camera array, the clean lines, the etched display, it just appeals to me. I just love it. The design to me is 10 out of 10 and I got it in the lunar shadow variant and I just love the marble effect it gives. To me, this looks like a jewelry piece, honestly. This is a phone which I have in my hand and I'm like, okay, I'm happy I purchased this. Whereas I cannot really say that about my iPhone. I just hate the cameras and this design like spider eyes. I would never say that iPhones look good compared to this, because to me this looks good and this doesn't. But this has a better camera. We'll talk about that later. But if you're not a content creator, this does not matter to you at all. And I would at least have a look at this phone because it's beautiful. And the way the micro textured glass just reflects light on the back is beyond dreams. The one downside I have for the design is that the phone is so pretty that you will not want to use a case with it. For the entirety of this review, I was not using the phone with a case. The only time I put it in a case was when I was traveling with it, but using it at home, I never put it in a case because it is just so stunning and so beautiful. By the way, a screen protector is included and the curved display to me just looks so elegant and so modern. I know a lot of you guys don't like curved displays for whatever reason you is. Maybe you have jumbo hands and you're actually touching the screen with your thumb. I don't know. I loved curved edges. I love curved edges. Ever since Samsung came out with their Edge phones, I owned one. Yes, and I felt like the coolest kid at school owning a Samsung Galaxy Edge. I guess it was S6, right? S6 Edge, yeah. The only issue I have with the screen protector they give you is that it doesn't cover the entirety of the screen. So basically where the edges are curved, you still have your display there and it's not protected. I'm not really sure if you can see it. It's IP68 and IP69 water and dust resistant. I did not test this since this is a test phone, so I could just test it, but at the same time, I just don't want to throw a test device into the water. It is just not what I do. I don't throw any tech into water, actually. Just my Apple Watch, and it took me years to actually do that. Let's talk about the display. The panel in question is a 6.8-inch LTPO OLED proprietary nanocrystal shield screen with a refresh rate of up to 120 Hz. That gives the Magic 7 Pro a lag-free field, heavily backed by the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor packed inside. Overall, the OLED panel looks crisp, the phone is super fast, and It's just an OLED panel in all its glory. When we're talking about display, I want to talk about one feature which I found particularly interesting. It's the Honor Eye Care. This basically protects your eyes when you're staring at the screen for a long time. You can read about it in the settings itself, so it's information which is easily accessible, and they talk about your sleep health, like the circadian rhythm, so they adjust the screen color based on your body's rhythm to help you sleep at night better. The defocus eye care, they say that it relieves the refractive state of your eyes through myopic defocus stimulation. Then you can turn on natural tone, which automatically adjusts the screen brightness based on the lighting. For like a paper-like viewing experience, and then also you can filter out blue light if you want to. There's a minimum of 12 gigs of RAM packed inside, going up to 16 gig if you take the 1 TB version, and it features Magic OS 9, which is basically an answer to Android 15, so you have a lot of AI features packed inside. Again, in the settings you have a whole section just dedicated to Honor AI, and you can click on the specific features so that again it shows you what it's good for. For example, you have magic text, so you can tap the icon for a quick text extraction from an image. You have magic portal, which lets you activate services, so you can, for example, copy content from one app to the other. And you also have AI translate, for example. The features which I found particularly interesting were photo features, of course, where it lets you just erase objects you don't like in a photo. I thought this worked so well. This works better than in the apps I use, which I have paid subscription for. Also, another interesting feature is where you can scroll with your gestures. This is called Air Gestures, where it basically guides you through the process of how to learn scrolling with your device. So you basically have to hold your hand in front of your phone and then you move it down and up, and so you scroll. Now let's talk about the battery. I tried so hard and the phone just didn't die. You can easily go through 2 days with this phone, which is just crazy. The battery is 5,270 milliampere hours and it offers 100-watt charging, so it charges to full within 33 minutes. And you also have 80-watt wireless charging, but of course you have to find a charger which supports that. We're taking pictures and videos everywhere we go to save our memories, so talking about the camera is important. And now, I know I already mentioned that the cameras aren't as good as on my 16 Pro Max iPhone. So the issues the camera has are that I just don't like the outcome. The pictures, they're fine, but they're over sharpened and I just can't get it out of my head. I'm gonna show you a comparison of the Honor photos next to the photos of my iPhone, and you can make up your mind. Maybe you like the photos of the Honor phone more. Who knows? You decide. But you have a 50 megapixel main sensor, a 50 megapixel ultra wide, a 200 megapixel telephoto, and the photos from the telephoto look beautiful. An AI feature I used a lot was when you artificially zoom into the image. So you're doing digital zooming, and there's an AI feature to enhance what you can see. And I think that works really well on everything I've tried. I'm gonna show you a clip of what that looks like. But that's something I see as very useful, because you're basically AI adjusting something you can barely see. That's great. Of course, this comes with a downside, and you have to be connected to the internet in order to do this, because this is not processed on the device itself, but it's processed in the cloud. So unless you're connected to the internet, there's nothing you can do with these AI tools for the camera. The same when you are trying to remove objects. So you circle an object, you want to remove it. Again, you have to be connected to the internet in order to do that. By the way, there's also a cool feature for taking photos where you can have the AI mode turned on, and that basically sets the camera to the best settings in order to take a nice shot. This worked really well at night when I was trying to capture my hand in a car. So my hand was shaking while the car was moving, and without the AI, the image is totally shaky, so it's blurred. And when I had the AI photo turned on, it was actually able to analyze what I'm trying to take a picture of, and the hand was steady and nice. Then I was trying to capture a moving car, and there you can see that it actually totally kind of like destroyed, warped the license plate. So just something to consider. I just like the warmth and softness of the iPhone photos, and I just don't like the over sharpened, over contrasted photos with a cooler undertone. And it might be just my thing, so if you're happy about what this phone delivers, then go for it. I want to talk about portrait modes because they were developed with Hardcore Studio, and the phone gives you, I think, 3 nice presets you can use, so you don't have to edit the photos afterwards. And they're just nice. They make every moment look kind of special. Just look at the photos and tell me your opinion, because I really think these are perfect. I especially like the black and white filter, but all of them look nice. I am really happy about AI features coming to devices because they can help us a lot with the task we need help with. But for example, the Magic Portal, it looks a bit redundant to me, because with your knuckle you can like make a tinier screenshot and then share it to other apps, and I don't really know when I wanted to have this feature. I see a lot of people talking about it the same way as I am, because it's something we didn't ask for, and honestly I don't see how I'll be using it. But that's with everything, like you're trying and you see if it works. So without trying, we'll never know. The price of this device is 1,200 euro. It's a flagship. Is it a lot? Is it not? I'm gonna tell you, I had a wonderful time using this phone. I'll be missing it, because honestly, this is the phone I would switch to with a snap of the finger, if I could. I love Android. I love the level of customization. I love the super smooth, super quick animations. And if you're an Android fan, I would highly suggest you having a look at this phone, because if you don't, you might honestly be missing out. That's about it. This is my quick review of the new Honor Magic 7 Pro. I hope I was able to tell you something you haven't heard before. And if that's the case, I would be really happy if you would subscribe, like the video, and I really, really hope to see you in the next one. Bye!